Losing a loved one at a young age is one of the worst experiences of life. Young Yota loses the love of his life due to an accident, and since then his lover Rika becomes a curse that haunts him everywhere he goes. Will Yota break this curse? Yota Akorusu, a young cursed boy, is bullied by his colleagues. Anytime he is bullied, his bullies are killed by Rika, an overprotective curse that clings to Yota. The members of the Jujutsu Society decide to kill Yota because the curse that clings to him is one of the most powerful curses ever. However, a sorcerer and powerful teacher named Gojo decides to take Yota to a Tokyo Jujutsu high school. As planned, Yota prepares to resume at Jujutsu High School while his colleagues Maki Zenin, Toge Inumake, and a panda gossip about him before he resumes. They have heard about how 4 students died because of him and are determined to make his stay hell. Upon arriving at school, Gojo tells the students that a new student will join them. Shockingly for Gojo, the students didn't clap. As Yota enters the classroom, Maki throws her curse arrow at him. Rika comes to his defense immediately and tells them that Yota is her special one and no one must bully Yota. Yota remembers his times with Rika. Rika was his childhood best friend. On one of his birthdays, Rika gave him a ring and told him that when they grew old, they would marry each other. Unfortunately, Rika died after she was hit by a car, and his promise to Rika became a curse on him. After the introduction, Gojo divides the class into 2 groups and gives them a mission. The first group is Toge and the panda, while the second group is Maki and Yota. On their way to the mission, Maki tells Yota that he behaves like a victim, whereas he isn't the victim, as he is the one being protected by a powerful curse. Gojo takes them to a school. He says their first mission is to unveil the curse in that school and tells them that the curse has swallowed 2 kids in the school. He calls for a veil to cover them. He wishes them good luck and leaves them in the school. 3 curses approach them and Maki defeats them stresslessly as they enter the school. They find different curses, but the curses don't attack them. Maki gets comfortable and asks Yota for his ID. She checks Yota's ID, and she is shocked that Yota is in the special grade. As she looks, Yota calls her attention to a giant curse behind them. The curse is significant in that it destroys the school. As Maki tries to attack, the curse swallows them. Maki drops her sword outside the curse, so there is no way she can attack the curse. She asks Yota to call Rika, but Yota says he doesn't summon Rika. They find the 2 missing kids inside the cursed stomach. The kids are already affected by the curse, and one of them is weak already. Maki also gets affected by the curse and collapses. She regains her strength and asks Yota why he decides to join the school. Yota replies that he joined the school because Gojo advised him to join when he was tired of life. He says he joined the school so he can save lives, so Maki tells him to save them. She says to him that if he can channel and control his curse, then he will make friends and save people. He removes the ring from his chain and wears it on his finger. He asks Rika to lend him her energy, and Rika comes out to fight. While Rika fights, he carries the wounded people on his back and takes them outside the veil to Gojo. Gojo applauds him for his skills and takes the kids to the hospital. At the hospital, Gojo tells him the kids are doing great. Yota sees a little child and remembers all his memories with Rika. He remembers the day Rika gave him a ring and remembers he was the one who told Rika they would be together till the world ended. He confides in Gojo that he thinks he was the one who cursed Rika and not the other way around. He says one thing he wants to learn at the high school is how to break the curse he placed on Rika. Upon leaving the hospital, Gojo goes to report to the Jujutsu Society. They are angry at him for allowing Yota to bring out Rika and warn him that if Rika does any inhumane act again, Yota will be killed. Upon leaving the society, Gojo complains to himself that the elders of the society are too strict and they do not want the young ones to live their lives. Yota, on the other hand, trains with his schoolmate. Gojo takes him to a sword. He tells him that once he can put his curse on the sword and wield the sword, then he is already strong enough. For some days, Yota trains to get better. One day, he is asked to follow Toge on a mission where Toge is to use his cursed mouth. Before leaving for the mission, Gojo tells him he won't follow them to their mission, but Yota must ensure he doesn't summon Rika because if he summons Rika, it may lead to his end. Upon getting to the mission ground, Toge fights the curse with his words and defeats them. After defeating the curse, they realize the veil didn't leave. they amazingly meet another curse that is stronger than Yota's first mission. Toge tries to fight the curse, but the curse takes away the medicine for his throat. They try to call for help, but there is no network connection due to the veil. They team together to defeat the curse and eventually did. After defeating the curse, they realize the veil didn't leave. Little did they know that there is a larger curse looking at them from above and holding Yota's ID. The curse talks about meeting Rika that day. Eventually, they are both rescued from the veil. Panda tells Yota about Toge. He tells him that Toge is just like Yota, as Toge also got his cursed mouth when he was little. He admonishes Yota to be nice to Toge because Toge is concerned about him. Gojo goes to inspect the location. He is informed that there was another veil on the veil initially kept on the location, and that was why the boys couldn't leave the location. As they inspect, Gojo tells his partner that it was his fault as a high-grade sorcerer attacked the boys. He says it is Suguru Geto, a high-level sorcerer banished from Tokyo Jujutsu High School because he used his curse to murder about 1,000 innocent people. Geto is seen at his home. He is visited by a mother who complained about her daughter's bad dreams. Geto tells the girl she feels a high weight on her hands and she feels molested. That is exactly what the girl feels, and he removes the curse immediately. He bids the family goodbye as he receives a call that his board members are around. He meets with his board members, which consist of Nanako, Mimiko, and some others. He informs them of his plans to make the world devoid of non-sorcerers and says for their plan, they must first defeat the Tokyo Jujutsu School. On the other hand, Gojo informs the principal about feeling Geto's curse at the location. At about the same time, the students of Jujutsu High School walk towards the school. Yota feels something strange and complains to his colleagues, who push away his opinion. Immediately, a huge bird flies down. They realize Yota is right when Geto and his board members come out of the bird. Geto goes to Yota. He says he has heard a lot about Rika, and he would like to use Rika to ensure the non-sorcerers are eradicated from society. Gojo comes there and asks Geto to leave his students. Gojo comments that Geto has eyes for good talents and says they are all special breeds except Maki. Yota gets angry because Gojo insulted Maki and tells Geto to leave him alone. Geto tells them that he is coming to declare war, and on the said date he will kill all the non-sorcerers in society, and if they can stop him, they should. The members of Jujutsu know that Geto isn't lying, so they plan to attack the said date. On the other hand, Geto knows he can't win the war, and if he wins the fight, he will need to use Rika. To get Rika, he needs to kill Yota. He assumes that the members of Jujutsu will go to the fight location and probably leaves Yota at the school. On that day, Gojo and the strong sorcerers go to the location, but Geto isn't there. Geto puts a veil on the academy. Maki sees the veil and attempts to attack Geto. Fortunately, someone briefs Gojo about what is happening at the school, so he sends Toge and Panda to defend Yota and Maki. They break into the veil Geto builds and attack Geto, finding Maki incapacitated. At first, they defeat Geto, but he breaks up with an earthquake and defeats them. Yota comes out to fight for his friends. He attacks Geto in his full force and defeats him at first. Meanwhile, Gojo and the other sorcerer attack the fight location and they try to save the city. Geto realizes Yota isn't as easy as he expected, so he calls out all the special curses against him and tells him he will kill and take Rika. Yota goes to Rika. He pleads with her to please lend him her powers. He promises that after he defeats Geto, he will follow her and be with her forever. Rika takes the promise and prepares to attack Geto while Geto laughs at Yota for sacrificing himself for his friends. Rika fights with her full energy and defeats Geto till Geto is weak and unable to use any power. Geto crawls away from the school. He collapses on his way and he meets Gojo. They were both friends at Jujutsu High School before the incident of Geto's banishment. Geto asks Gojo why he sent Toge and Panda back, but didn't send Yota away, and Gojo replies that it is because he knows his old friend wouldn't kill a young sorcerer. Gojo asks Geto for his last words, and Geto says although he hates monkeys, he doesn't hate Jujutsu High School. He returns Yota's ID to Gojo. He also confesses that he was the one who caused the elementary school attack too. Meanwhile, Make, Toge, and Panda go to wake Yota up. As he wakes up, he asks his friends if they are fine, then hears a call from Rika. He walks to Rika and tells his colleagues of his promise to go with Rika if he wins the battle. Suddenly, the curse is removed from Rika and she changes to her normal self. Gojo walks in to tell the students that after Yota's confession at the hospital, he tries to inquire about Yota's family and realizes that Yota is from the Michizane Sugawara family, their strongest family in Japan, and it was Yota who cursed Rika when he refused to accept Rika's death after the accident. Yota apologizes to Rika for putting her in hardship for 6 years, but Rika tells him that the 6 years he cursed her were the best time in her life. She wishes him goodbye and disappears. Ending the movie, Gojo tells Yota that the war in the city isn't due to his curse, as Geto would have started the war even if Yota didn't curse Rika. Yota eventually gets rid of his curse and makes new friends in his school. Thank you for watching the recap. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.